Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, which is MyWebUniversity, and I'm going to present you the second video of my tips and tricks on Windows and Linux. The first video was already posted, which is right here, and this is Windows and Linux tips and tricks, video number 2, which is going to come up next. Right now, I'm going to just do a slideshow on this video. So let's get started. Um, this video, I already posted video number 1, and I covered Windows and Linux tips and tricks. And this is brought to you by my YouTube channel at MyWebUniversity. So this is what I covered on that video number 1. I covered hostname, ID. Hostname is on both Linux and Unix and Windows is the same command, hostname. ID is Linux and Unix command. GetInt is also Linux command. PWD is an alias for PowerShell that is pointing to get dash location, and also print working directory of executable. So this is an alias. However, on Linux, this is a command. It prints print working directory of executable. Change directory CD is both on Windows, Mac, Linux. Everything is change directory. Changes the directory. Clear screen on PowerShell is clear screen, clear the screen. And Linux and Mac on Unix clears the screen as well. CLS is also a clear screen on DOS, disk operating system, the older version of Windows. Uname is a Linux and Unix command. It produces the output of the system information about what is your node name, what is the host name, what is the version of not the version, the node name, the system name, and then all the revision name, the machine type, the build type, all of that one. I produce you that on the platform, everything. System information on Windows, you can run on the DOS or PowerShell system information to get about all your resources. What is the operating system version? What is your CPU type? What is how much memory you have, how much operating resources you have. Cat is stand for concatenation. Cat is the command that is an alias to type and get dash content on PowerShell. But on Linux, this is a binary command that is a command that we just run it for concatenation to cat the contents of files, one or more files. Calendar, just display the calendar. Date, display the date. PS is to check for system processes and monitors. LS is list files, similar to directory and similar to get child item on Windows. And then LS is also a PowerShell alias to get child item. There is also an alias to PowerShell. On Linux, you can use LS equivalent to these ones. You can also create aliases for these ones if you want to. Tree command on both of them, I showed you that on Windows it comes with it, and then you just do a tree to get the structure of it, and the file system structure of a directory or subdirectories. And then tree command does not get installed by default on Linux. You have to install it. I showed you how to use the application package toolkit or advanced package toolkit. This command is like package management tools, so you could just use that one to install it. And then WinGit is a Windows package manager that you can use to install and remove software on the Windows side and get list of installed packages as well. Laugh Out Loud Cat is a kind of package that you can get it both on Linux as well as PowerShell as well as Windows platform, DOS. So you can install this one. It does not come with Windows or Linux. You just have to install the utility depending on whether you install it with Ubuntu with apt or install it with Snap on Ubuntu or maybe on the other version like Fedora distribution, you could use yum or DNF or just install the RPM, and there's a lot of ways you can do that one as well. So I showed you all of these commands and details, and I'm gonna go to video number 2 today, which I'm going to be covering these Windows tips and tricks with Linux and Windows. These videos. This video number 2 is going to cover the following topic. Get-host. Get-host is a command on PowerShell that is going to just produce you the output of PowerShell version. So get-host is very useful command, and I'll show you the detail of it. Host ID is similarly on the Linux side, you can run to get a host ID, and then the host ID is just kind of a hash key that is pointing to the host name information. Hostctl is also a host control. Hostctl is a Linux command that you can get more details. Just host name is one command, host ID is one command, host ID. Hostctl is just give you more structure of details with some key value pairs, OCTL. PWDX is similar to print working directory, but the X stands for executable. This is showing you the process working directory of executable. So if you have a process ID, you can just get PWDX of that process, running process. Or if a binary is running, you can just get the process ID of it, and then you say, what is the working directory of that executable? That's what it stands for. This is one of the several commands that I cover under proc file system, which is a pseudo file system, memory based, and PWD is print working directory of executable, which I'm going to cover on this other one, on this video number 2. Actually, this is should be titled video number 2. Let me just correct that one. And this is number 2, and then right here is going to be number 2 also. And now that is corrected. I'm going to go back here. Let me just see what is this one. Okay, yeah, I think what I did with the topics when I just did number 1 here. This is number 1. This is number 2. That's good. This is number 2 now. So I'm going to just go back to slideshow, and I'm gonna say just from current slide. This is gonna just come up with a video number 2, and the item that I'm gonna cover under video number 2 are these ones. I was already on to the print working directory of executable, so I'm gonna pick up from there. PWD print working directory of executable is one of the several commands on the proc file system, which is pseudo file system on Linux. I will be covering PS3, PStream. There's a lot of them. PMAP, and then PStack and PWait, PStop. And there's also on Solaris reap command. But I'm going to be just covering the Linux stuff on the next commands, but video number 2 is only covering one of the pseudo file system, PWDX, in this example. Change directory is a Windows command. chdir is the longer version, cd is the shorter version, and change get-location and set-location is also the commandlet on PowerShell. This is also on Windows DOS command. Makedir is similar, making a directory on Windows, and then on Linux also you could short it with MD for makedir. And then if you do which makedir, if it comes with it, it would be there. And if you wanted to see the location of this one on PowerShell, you could do a get-command followed by the executable file name, and it will tell you that where that is. On Linux, whatever command you're looking for example, PWDX, you say which PWDX, which host ID. Any of the command that is in the path, it will tell you that that command is there. Type is a command that was used by DOS and disk operating system, and then Windows. And PowerShell is using this one. Type is an alias to get-content in PowerShell, and also cat is a command in PowerShell that is alias to get-content. Both cat and type are there. Even though I covered cat command on video number 1, I'm also covering this one because of the type, and this I'm going to cover more. So get-type and get-content, I'm sorry, not get-type, get-content and type and cat or commands. These are two or alias to get-content. Notepad and Notepad plus plus or for editing. So in the past with the DOS, you would use ADT edit command or a Notepad or Notepad plus plus. You also have a lot of the IDEs like Visual Studio Code that you can do on Windows. You can install VI on Windows, but VI comes with Linux. And then if you want to use the VI improved, you have to install it with one of the packages. And then octal dump is another command that's similar to a cat command, but it is octal dump content of it. So let me just put a comma here. Also on this one, I missed a comma somehow. That's two separate commands, so I'm gonna save it. And this time I'm gonna say slide from current, so we will go back to the command then. VI improve, VI stands for Visual Interpreter. VEM is a VI improve. And there's also Emacs and ED commands and everything. So I'm going to cover the following here today. Octal dump is another command that is a content dump, an hexadecimal or character decimal. You could do it, and with VI, you can do tricks to just see invisible characters. I'll show you those ones and how you edit files. System info is a Windows and PowerShell command to get system information on resources. Sometimes, like on Linux, you can do CPU info, cat/proc/CPU info. This is also a pseudo file system based on memory, which is 0 byte by default. But when you read the content of it, it shows you all the CPU information. Similarly, meminfo is for memory information, cat/proc/portation table, give you the portation table. And last but not least, this demo between Windows and Linux. I'm going to use Ubuntu virtual machine here to demo the Linux side, and I'm using Windows 11 to demonstrate the PowerShell commands and DOS commands. Okay, so this is going to be presented to you at MyWebUniversity, which are in these two channels. My website is www.mywebuniversity.com, which you're welcome to watch my videos. This is the YouTube channel that brings this video, and then this is the 4C channel that brings this channel, or this MyWebUniversity in 4C brings you this one, and then or the English version, which are these ones. And I'm covering a lot of topics in the computer science and development, IT, and things that you could study in college or maybe at work. For more than 30 years of my life, I have been working at the companies, the prestige companies that I have been doing enterprise system analyst, programming, software engineering, development, consulting, database, you name it. I have worked all of those ones, but now I'm here to serve you, and I'm hoping that from these videos you will just benefit, because all of them are for free. And plus, for thousands of hundreds of millions of technical documentation on my website that you can come here. This book I wrote, The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu. If you just come in here, notice that each chapters, there are 15 chapters, each chapter is towards teaching you something. This one, chapter 2, teaches you the entire Linux Ubuntu basic Linux command, which is like 33 commands. This one is another 33 commands with videos and everything covered on it, the 33 commands. This one is advanced for chapter 4, and so you could see like 88 commands are here. For each of these commands, I have covered for each row another video. For example, this is row 8 of 8, which is the last one. covering from G core all the way to make. And if you just want to practice them online, I have built this in such a way that everything is on your browser. All you need is the desire to learn. You come in on my website and start learning Linux online. And so you just see that what is the PS3 command, for example. PS3 shows you process stream 3. In this case, if you want to just click on this one, this is the dollar sign meaning the process itself. So Bourne shell called PS3. PS3 did not call anything else. But if I just say PS3 on process ID 1, which is the system D, this is a longer process. So this was your command, and I give you the output on your browser. And this is something that it is almost impossible for people to provide you this interface, because all you do is on a browser, you run Linux command like this, and you get the output back on your browser without any security issues. And I take care of all of that one through my Python program, through programming, that I just bring you everything online for you for free. And it is secure, safe under HTTPS, SQL injection or Oracle, SQL injection or cross-site scripting or any of that one. I am fully aware of it. And I do allow certain commands, and I do them very efficiently. For the past 25 years, people have been using it, and they are just saying that, thank God I have such an interface, now I can learn a lot. So this is also giving you manual pages. If you just say, well, give me a manual pages on this command, then you just get all the information here. The manual pages, I produce you the online documentation. It's if you're sitting on a Linux machine, then you get this manual pages by man PS3. But if you're not in front of it, you don't have that information. So to learn it online, you just come into my website. Let's say you were looking for PWDX, or print working directory of executable. I just don't only give you this command. You can just come in and type in any Linux command, and I produce you on the fly dynamically. So it's not like hard coded. You just type in here for your search, PWD. Give me the PWD, and I'll give you. Give me the Python. I need technical documentation. So all of this one is give me the something like CPIO, C copy input output. And I just produce it out information. And if I say, give me the GCC, which is a lot more information, not as the GNU collection compiler. So this is like really a lot. And then by doing this one, you just basically are reading 500 pages online without going to a Linux server. And then you say, well, this is still HTML. Can I have this one in a PDF format? No problem. Just come in on to my website here, click on the direct path to Linux Ubuntu. I thought of that one because a lot of students, especially when I was teaching at Pasadena City College, I was teaching Bash scripting and C++ and Python for so many semesters. And every semester, there were some students that they couldn't afford to buy the book. Forget about paying the tuition. So buying the book, they were thinking that if there's a PDF version. And I feel the pain because I went through that process myself through school. So I wrote this Python program that now generate millions of files for you on the fly if you just are interested to learn. So you don't have to buy books. This look, chapter 12, the dynamic generation of Linux Ubuntu manual pages. Assuming that you're interested to learn the GCC, and you say, can you generate me a PDF version? You just type in GCC here, you click on the submit, and then I just generate you this gcc.pdf file on the fly. I just created this PDF file, and this PDF file is 399 pages. So you could just go on the entire PDF file, you could learn and read it. And then you say, well, I need to know the abstract. concatenation or the for loop or anything, the while loop on how you do this one and how you compile my code, it's all here. But then at the same time, you say, I need more than just the 399 pages. I want the entire internet. Everything that is about GCC or something, I want to do it. No problem. Just Control F here, search for HTTPS, and every page GNU.org, right? Every page that there's documentation, notice there's one of 60. There are 60 other HTTPS that is going to give you millions of other documentation for Python, for C++, for Java, for Go language, for Node.js, for Perl, for Ruby, anything that you look for, and I will just give you a URL for it on the PDF file that I generate, because those are already referenced. So my web site, when I was programming, I said, I don't want to just only have what I have there. I want to take it to the internet. So now if you're here, you say, okay, I want to see some more, like OpenACC, right? If you look at OpenACC, now you're on openacc.org. And then there's all the kind of documentation, everything on the site itself, right? So it tells you how to use it and everything here. There's a lot more. If you just say, okay, let's just search for more of HTTPS, Control F, HTTPS here, and then you say, I'm going to go to the GNU.org, see on the GNU C2, see standard support for GCC. There's a lot of documentation here. So each one of them, if you say, for example, show me the C23, and then there's documentation for that related topic. And if you just say, on this one, let's say, go to HTTPS again and see what other URLs are showing with HTTPS, so Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, OpenACC, and this is cwe.org. So let's assume that I didn't know what was this one. This one is basically the website utilizes technologies such as cookies. Okay, that's fine. And then it tells you the detail on this website software. And if I just go on the main page to see, yeah, that is the main page actually. And then concept and manage and everything. So you could look at this one, and then here also they might have other details, quick tips and examples, and what is the CWE stand for. It might say somewhere here, I'm not reading anything here. Their CWE, manage preferences. They should have a about page here or something that it could tell you, and then it might be hidden here. Yeah, contact us, and then terms of a sitemap. I'm not that much interested on this one. Let's go on to the next one. Control F, HTTPS, and then we see how many other tools are there. Okay, GCC GNU.org online docs. So if I just click on this one or go to the next one, see right here, GNU.org. This one is a specific GNU C collection compiler internal wiki page. So you could get into that one. Imagine for one place that you came in on my website, now all of a sudden the entire C compiler is there, an introduction to GCC, ebook, and then all of that details are there, 1,000 of other ones. So if you want to do it on a Spark architecture, which was the Solaris platform of Sun Microsystem, you can do that one. There's a lot here, then you can see that one. And then compilation of functional programming language, GCC, tail calls. So imagine how much resource are there. And then if you say, well, that's great, can I do that one with go-build? And then, yeah, I just generate you the PDF file here for go-build, and now you have the entire documentation. This is only 3-page, but then again, do Control F, HTTPS, search for golang.org, and click on this one. Now you're on the Go language. Imagine the whole internet is at your fingertips. You don't have to worry about it. You just could come in on these modules as well as go to the documentation, go to specification, user manuals, and installing Go language or doing the tutorials. Thousands of documentation there. Similarly, if you say, can I do that one with Python? Yeah, no problem. Just come in, search for Python, and my Python program automatically create this one dynamically. As soon as you request that this one is 7-page, again, do Control F HTTPS. Now it says, do you want to go to python.org, docs.python.org, devguide.python.org, and everything. So pypy.org, every one of them you click on, they will take you. numpy.org, whatever the URL is there, Control F HTTPS. Let me take you to, for example, python.org itself. Under python.org itself, you can see under download, you can download software. Under documentation, you can get documentation for different versions, all of that details, right? So if you look at the documentation, when you click on it, under the documentation, you could say Python docs, beginner's guide, developer's guide, frequently asked question, audio visual talk. There's thousands of things for you, millions of things. So all it is available at your fingertips. I'm not gonna go to every programming language because I have to cover this one today, and I'm going to just stop it there for the documentation, for introduction to MyWebUniversity. I hope you have already are subscribing. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. You will enjoy it because there's thousands of videos. It's 1.9K videos already, and more than 3,000 people subscribe. They're all making very good comments, and I enjoy it. And I'm making these videos, the Windows tips and tricks. This one is going to teach you a lot. So let's get started with the first Windows tips and tricks command, that is git dash host. So when you open a PowerShell commandlet, you click on this icon, which is PowerShell. By default, if you want to use the latest version that I have installed, I have made this one onto the taskbar as a button. So if I close this one and I type in terminal here, this one is going to bring the Windows PowerShell version. And this one, if I just do the git dash host command, it's going to just say, and the version is 5.1, which means that this is an older version. I could use that one. That's still going to give me that reference. But notice that it does not give you a nicer color code and everything. So I'm going to use this one. And this one, it drops me to this directory, which I don't have to be on the PowerShell directory. I could be in here, and then it also tells me the version is 7.5.3. I don't have to get that information. I could always type it myself, and that tells me it's the version is 7.5.6. So this one I'm going to minimize, and this one is the one that I'm going to use it just for the purpose. I'm going to show you a lot of details here for the git dash host. So if you type in git dash host, notice the version was showing, and then I cd to the directory. I could have just run the virtual this. If I exit out of this one and just click here, I could just say right here git dash host, and then I don't have to type it in uppercase or lowercase. But I could also do a git dash host this way, and I could get the same output. So if I just type in git dash host like that, that is showing, this is a commandlet. So it's called git dash host. So if I say git dash command, git dash host, it tells me that is a commandlet. And the commandlet name is git dash host. The version is 7.0. That is the actual command version for git dash host. This is not the version of PowerShell git dash host. And that one is 7.5.3. And then the source that git dash host was written is by Microsoft.PowerShell.utility. So it's one of the utilities is the source. This git dash command is very powerful. So if I just say git dash command itself, and then say what is git dash command itself, that is also saying it's a commandlet, and it is going to be and notice the version of this command is 7.5, and this is also Microsoft and the PowerShell.core. So git dash command is part of not the utility but the core part of PowerShell. So if I say git dash command here, it's going to tell me a lot more of all the commands that are available, whether there are functions, there are aliases, or there are commandlets, they're there. So the fact that we did the clear screen and then this git dash host, it tells me that this one, I'm going to work on the git dash host command next to show you what this git dash host represent. This git dash host is a commandlet. It is a commandlet that produces output such as this as a key value pair, meaning that it's a hash table. It's a hash table as reproducing name, the value of it is console host. The version is the key, the value is 7.5.3. So what do I mean by that one? If I just make this git dash host as an object, and then I say, give me the UI information, and it is going to give me the value of a UI like this, the value set through. But if I want to get the version of it, I just say, give me the version, and then it's going to give me that. Imagine on this one, if I just say, well, I'm interested into the minor. So on this one, and you just type in minor here, it will just give you exactly that information. If you just say, give me the major version of PowerShell is 7. And if you say, give me the revision, it should be, you guessed it right. Up there is already there, -1. And if you say, give me the build version, you don't have to write in the order that it is there. But if you want all of them in one shot, you could do this one. But if you want everything on that object is there, you just type in like that, or just without the parentheses around it. That also give you the host ID information. So clearing the screen here, notice there's more information, and then when you do this one, you could say, give me that private data. So notice private data itself is a hash key pair value. So if I just say, give me this format accelerator color, then I could say, go ahead, do this one, private data, and then say dot format accelerator color, and then tab it, and it's going to give you that. But if the value of those ones start with error, you have to, when you do this one, if you press tab, error is not going to just pick, it's going to pick up the first one that is matching error this. And if you don't have it, that one, just do tab again. And right here, after error, tab, error, and then let's see, error, and then background. And then, okay, so I have to type in some part of it to make it unique, but I could just also simply say error background if I want this one, and cut and paste it there, and it's going to give me that value there. So you got the idea of that one. In order for me to cover the host ID command, host ID is not here. It's not, if I just say host ID, it's going to say not found. So don't run that command on Windows. But I told you that I'm going to start a virtual machine, which I've already installed Ubuntu, Linux Ubuntu. So this is the Linux Ubuntu version 24. I have already given the resources to it, and my system resources are good. And so I have given 16 gigabyte of it, and then the processor, 4 processor. So if I just say, go ahead and start this one, I'm going to also on the command prompt, since I told you that I'm going to cover system information, I say system info, and then here you can say find the string /i and say OS name. So operating system name, and then you could get that information. You can also do a find string like this, and that also show you one line there, because the difference between find command and find a string, find command is similar to grep command on Linux. Find a string is similar to egrep, extended global regular expression print. And when you do the /i means ignore case. On the Linux -i, -i. Wherever you have on Windows / you just use dash for that one. That is a tip and tricks between Windows and Linux. So you don't have to say, oh, what is the syntax of a tree command? If you do tree here /? I showed you that last time. It gives you a syntax of /f, display the format, and the /a. So on Linux, if you do the same thing, you do 3-f, 3-a, and that slash is swap to Linux. That's a very good tips that I just gave you. So here, if I say 3 of this one /f, give me all the files and data structure. And similarly, if I say 3/a in ASCII, it will give me the ASCII format. So, and sometimes that depending on the directory, the structure, if you run the command, it is there. So if I say 3/a c:/Windows/Windows/drivers/etc. I did it on the drivers. So if you do this one, the whole directory is not that big. But if you just want to minimize it and say, give me only the etc, you can see that it's shorter. So no subfolders. But if you do it on the parent directory, drivers, then you will get it. Now, if you want to see the content of that file, it is showing the content that are on etc. So if I just do the same command that I did earlier for this one, it is they're huge, right? So, and sometimes you could do a pipe more on Windows, so you can see one screen at a time. You could press the space bar, so go to the next, and then all the way to the end, and then Q for quit. So sometimes you can also print this one and laugh out loud cat, and then get it in color. You see that it is nicely printed like that. Then every time you run that command, it gives you a different output. Last time I showed you that one. So we did cover git-host already. I'm going to go back to the Linux side and cover the host ID once this machine is up and running. So if I had clicked on the switch, it would have been up by now. But because I was covering Windows, now this is going to take like a minute or two before it comes out. And right now it's coming, and it says mouse integration. So I say that's fine. And some of those notifications, you don't have to be informed about it. But Ubuntu Linux is spinning right now. It is booting, and right here on the system information, when I did the system info, I look at the memory, for example. And then I told you about find a string and find command, but I'm going to use find string here. And it says I have total 32 gig, 16 gig was allocated for Ubuntu, and another 17 gig is available. You can also right click here on Task Manager and just go on Task Manager and then look at the performance, and your system information is here. All of the detail is there. 15 gig and 16 gig available. So that's those ones. And then here you can also do model for processor information. So you can see the architecture is Intel 64 family, and it's a 3.4 gigahertz speed right here. Is there. And then we saw the OS name. If you just say OS name here, and that is going to show you a lot more information. And then one of them is a Microsoft Pro. And then algorithm, last time we type in the host name, that command, it just shows you the host ID. And if I just want to get the host name here, I could just do simply host name. This is going to give me the host, and name is going to cover more. But if I wanted just the hostname field here, I could use find a string here. And find command is just going to give you one line because the name is matching more. So, like I told you, the egrep, extended global regular expression, that is matching multiple strings. So you can, on the Windows, you could space them by separating that there. On the Linux side, you could do that bar or state. Let me just log in here. So I log in as my regular user here. And once I'm on the system, then I open a terminal and I can run those commands on the Linux side. Okay, now you know I'm on a Linux machine. How do I know I'm on a Linux machine? I open a terminal here, and by default, I'm dropped onto my desktop directory. I go clear a screen and say, okay, that is good. And then at this time, I'm going to run some commands. So if I say cat -n etc os-release, then it tells me that I'm on a Linux Ubuntu 24 point something, right? 24.04.3. And then you can extend this one so you can have the whole information a little bit clear. And then right here, I could just also do laugh out loud cat and to just get it in a color base. So every time you run that command, it just give you a new color. So if I just want to do multiple command, I could say clear the command and do the cat command. Now, every time I just do up arrow, I'm not seeing the top one there. But if I just say, okay, at the same time, run the pwd, print working directory, and then run this. So now print working directory there. I say also run them instead of the pwd, add the pwd plus the date command. So you just run another ampersand, say date command also. And now you will see the date command and a print working directory. So a lot of these commands are very useful. You can just do it. And host ID is one of those ones that I was telling you that it brings the hash key for host name. So if your host name is this, the host ID is for that one is the hash key. And then the other one command that I'm going to cover is hostctl. And hostctl is clear screen. Hostctl is not installed. So the way to install that one, it says that you can do a snap there. So I could say which snap, and then you can install it through snap, which is file user ben snap. And then the snap itself is an executable link format that is like a package manager similar to apt. Apt is also the command that you could do, say apt list and get all the list of packages that are there on your system. This is like an application package toolkit or advanced package toolkit. And then you could do a word count on it, -L. You see 88,805 packages altogether. Snap list is smaller. So if I get a list of all the packages are there, that's only that many. But I could also install that one as a package or as a app or as a snap. The difference between snap is containerized, and then apt is packages that are recursively dependencies or met, whatever is on the apt repository, it will just be downloaded and the repository will be also installed with it. So let's do a snap command for it. And the command was hostname ctl. So I'm going to say sudo. Right now, my ID is Wahid. I don't have the privilege to install it on the system. So that means I have to type in sudo. If I don't want to write in front of the command every time sudo, then I have to do sudo sudash. Then I type in my password. And when I type my password correctly, I will get the ID and now I'm root. Now I don't have to type in sudo in front of my command. If I chose to do that one, that's one way I could say snap install, and then the command was host ctl. this would just install it and there. But if I wanted to do it with sudo privilege, I could just put sudo in front of it and type in the password there. It is safer to do sudo one command at a time if you don't feel comfortable. But I have done this one more than 30 years of my life with thousands of servers, these ones, and I know what I'm doing. So if you just want to make sure that you don't make a typo or something, that is your choice. So now if I say snap a list, and then it's there, and then if I say snap a list, laugh out loud cat, for example, that command is installed. And if I say snap show laugh out loud cat, that will, snap info laugh out loud cat, and that will give me the information on that. Similarly, the one that we installed was hostctl, and then hostctl is now there. And if I just say that, or just do, and instead of info, you could do list, because it's that went there. Now notice host as which host CTL. This one is a snap package, so it is installed under snap bin host CTL. Now if I just say here, I say host CTL, and this command is going to give me the host CTL information. Notice that it has all these arguments. Say host CTL is the command. Here is the usage, and then you want to add it, you want to list it, you want to disable it, you want to remove it. What do you want to do with it? So those are your option. And if I say host CTL-L for listing, a list, and then it's going to list detail of the host. Cat -n etc host is also files that are read, the loopback interface and all that information. Notice when you do the host CTL list, it is just saying that your local host that is pointing here, it is the same as the loopback interface 127.0.0.1. And then the IP version 6 version is ::1. And then IP version 4 is this one. And then this one is also assigned to the host name. Like this one, you can see Wahid -virtual, that is the host name. And then the rest of them, this is IP version 6 localhost. And these are also IP version 6 and details, all routers on this. There's a netstat -rn routing table. Okay, netstat -rn. So that netstat is not installed. If I want to install it, I have to do net tools. So I'm just giving you this one as a bonus. Since I'm already installed, logged on as root, all it requires apt install net-tools. And then that would just prompt me to say apt install, and just type it, install net-tools, and then that would install it. And then once installed, now netstat command will be available. But because I did it with apt rather than snap, this wouldn't be on the user bin directory. So which netstat command, you can see now it's available, user bin netstat. So all I have to do is say netstat -rn routing table and name, and it will tell me. Netstat -an for all the routing information is there. If you're listening to, let's say, port 443, which is not, I'm not running, it is connected on to that one. If it's SSH, and then it will connect to the SSH. So all of those ones, you could do LSOF and other ones. I'm not going to get into those ones yet, because we are going to have it covered on later videos. Let's cover what we have promised you. Host ID we already covered. Host name, host ID we already covered. Host CTL also, we installed it. So host CTL, you notice that has these other commands there. So host CTL status, you can get a status of it, and then host CTL list is a list of it. Host CTL --help, it will give you this help kind of command. -h is there, -column, and then those other ones, and these are the add add content to a profile on your host file, backup, disable, help, and then you don't have to play around with these ones if you don't need to or don't know how to. Just know that this command host CTL list, it will give you the list of them there. Um, what is your host name detail? And host ID give you the hash key, host name give you the host name. So you learn those ones. Let me see what other things I put here. Host is PWD and print working directory executable. So I told you already on the uh, Linux, you can see PWD print working directory. Man PWD, it gives you print working directory and text, but I showed you that that one on the website that I did for PWDX also, print working directory of a process or executable. So if I just say, what is that PWD difference with PWDX? Let me show you that on Linux. So on Linux, if I just say PWD, this is showing my current working directory that is there. So if I say get end, last time I showed you pass WD Wahid, for example, here, or just say and give me dollars backtick ID -UN. That also gave me that, or just say a $sign ID-UN, and that would also give you the same output. Whether you hard code it with the username or you just use the command to get the ID-UN, and then it will do it. Last time I showed you, if I just become root here, sudo su dash, and then say this command, get dash pwd dash ID, this one is basically, and say get end pass WD and then backtick ID-UN. That is equivalent to say, give me the root password information and details. Also, if I say here without the backtick $sign ID-UN, that also says root. It's almost like I'm typing root here because ID-UN is already giving root. But if I exit out of this one, notice ID-UN is giving you Wahid. So when you run the same command with ID-UN here, now you're getting Wahid information. If you type in with the backtick, all it says that ID-UN run that command and get that information. If you hard code it with root, now you're just giving the root. If you hard code it with Wahid, then it's gonna give that information for that user. That's the difference. So those are tips and tricks that you should learn on Linux as well as Windows. So now I'm gonna clear my screen. I said PWD shows you the current working directory. So if I say go to the programs directory, if I don't have any directory, I could use make directory programs, and then now I'm on that directory programs if I cd to it. Now, if I just do a PWD, it shows my current working directory is home Wahid programs. And if I say make dir C and then C++, you could just with same directory, you could just do make dir multiple directories. So now I just did inside here C, C++. And if I just don't want to see this blue on this color, it's a little bit hard, you can just unalias this one. And then you can see it's all white. The reason that is showing in that color, alias ls is pointing to dash dash color. By typing /bin/ls, you're saying don't run the alias, just run the binary, which is ls. So this is another tip that I just showed you here. And if you want to say, okay, show me that one, at the same time, this one gave you this output in white, but then you say, I want it a little bit color now, see if Laugh Out Loud could help me with the color that I like. And every time you run it, you get a different set of colors. But if you want it all green, you could just say Laugh Out Loud cat minus frequency 0.001. And then you could, minus frequency is the uppercase F. So that's why. And so Laugh Out Loud cat -h will give you all the syntax of the arguments. You can see here that -f is uppercase F or -- frequency. And then On Windows, doesn't matter. So if I just run the command here on Windows, remember I already had a session here, so I'm gonna keep that session here. So if I just say, give me that one, laugh out loud cat dash f 0.001, and this is going to produce the output because laugh out loud cat command does not care if you type it uppercase or lowercase. And this is there. The color matching green always, so it's gonna always produce that green there. And if I say dash dash frequency, if the command is frequency, it will recognize it, which it doesn't. So I say, let me see what it was. Laugh out loud cat and dash dash help. Sorry, clear screen, laugh out loud cat dash H for this, and you can see it's dash frec for frequency. So if you just did the above command, you just have to come back here and then let me just go back to that command right here and then add to Q frequency, and this will just produce it output there. Okay, dash dash frequency is not recognized. Let me just see why. Laugh out loud cat and dash dash frick. Oh, I mistyped it, sorry. Let me just go this one and then the command that I have here dash 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 FREQ. Let's see if that doesn't recognize it. I don't. Yeah. So on Windows, you can see here this not recognizing it, and it looks like we may have to skip it. So let me see if I could do a skip on the first one to tell Windows. On the Linux, yeah. So yeah, you have no option but just type in dash F lowercase, and that would work on Windows. That's as simple as that one. Or write it in uppercase. But the dash frequency is not recognized with dash dash. On Linux, sometimes you could use the dash dash to skip the dash and there. So and there, and then you could also try like this one here. You could say here dash frequency, and then the value is equal. So when you do that one, notice here it is recognized here. The output is giving those directory, but on Windows maybe we have to put the equality symbol, and so right here is equal dash dash frequency is equal. If it doesn't recognize this, I don't mind skipping it because we have the dash F works. Yeah, so just use the lowercase f or uppercase F, and that always works. Whether you write lowercase or dash uppercase, that is the syntax. So somehow that is kind of a small bug, laugh out loud cat dash H. You can see here, even though the flag is like that, you couldn't use it there. Maybe on some of them what might work, some of them may not, but I don't mind using it like the way I could use it. That doesn't matter, the flag. So let's get back to the next step. And then, so I showed you the grep command also. You could also grep out commands here. So if I say, do this one and show me all the files here, and then I could say grep, for example, snap. So everything that is a snap, and alias grep command itself is saying that it is color coded. So if I say do a snap or public, then it is going to do that one. Public is an uppercase, so I have to do -I to ignore the case, and then now it picks it up public. If I wanted to do it then without the I had to type it in uppercase. That matches. But if I just don't care about the ignore the case, I could say public like this, it's gonna cover. But what if I want both snap uh, snap and public to be covered in one? Then I say use the egrep. The egrep stand for extended global regular expression print. So here you say public or snap. Then that would just do it. So cover it. And then if you say or programs, and then since you did -I, you don't have to type in uppercase or lowercase, or videos. Anything that you just added, and those ones will be added there. If you say, show me everything, but this one, you could say -IV. I means ignore the case, and V for what is not in the list, show me those ones. So aside from those ones, you could do it. If you say exclude anything with DO, so download and documents and will not be covered, you could type in DO, and now those ones are skipped also. So that's how you use egrep or global expression print. And then on PowerShell, you could also use other commands like for find and other ones. For example, when I say go to this directory and say clear screen system info, and then find string /I and say OS name. If I just look for that information, there's a lot of parameters there, right? But if I just say, okay, give me only the OS information, OS name, that's going to be only specific to one line, that matching exactly this line. And that is a find command. But if you want to do multiple string, which is OS as well as name, then it's going to cover that. So there's another command that I like also to cover today, which is not on the list of my commands, but that one will be covered. The next is select the string. Select the string is like another commandlet, and that you could say OS name, for example. This is there. There's an option of dash pattern. Dash pattern dash pattern is just by default it's assumed. If you don't type dash pattern, it is still understood there. Notice this one, select a string, is similar to the find command. So you could just do, even though I put OS name here, there it is covering exactly like find command. And that's how those two are there. But then I could just say case insensitive, there's other parameters, which I'll be covering on that one also. So let's go to the list of what we have covered. The PWDX, and I'm going to cover that one right now. PWD, so PWD, we showed that with directory. If I say go to programs, sorry, clear screen, go to programs, and then that's PWD, go to C, PWD, CD to C++, and then PWD. So everywhere you go, if it say go, take me to the root partition directory, PWD there, go to home directory, PWD, that's PWD, okay? So now if I just say, okay, I'm on this directory, I want to go to the root here, and I say PWD, I'm on the root partition. df-h also tells me that this is my root file system. So if I just, I'm on there, and then I say, show me the PS that I'm running, what is my default shell. So remember the get and password Wahid, it tells me that I'm default using bin bash. Echo $shell also tells me that bin bash. Echo $0 also telling me that I'm using bash. PS is also telling me that I started bash here as my shell. Echo $$ is gonna just say that the process ID of my bash is this one. If I just open a corn shell here, now corn shell is not installed, which I could install it, but let's do a bourne shell. I'm going to do Bourne shell here. Now I open a Bourne shell here. So if I say PS now, notice inside the bash, I have a Bourne shell. So if I say PS3, my bash process is 2909. It says that I was on a Bourne shell. I just ran the sub shell, which is child process of a bash, and then this is the shell, and then PS3 is the command that I'm currently typing, process is string3, which is that command. Now, if I say PWDX of that process 2909, it says that it started from root. So if I say go to home, go to my default directory, and then I say uh, sudo apt install current shell. So I'm just installing current shell right now to just show that if you don't have something, you could simply install it with application package toolkit or advanced package toolkit. Now I have it. If I say which current shell, it says that it's there. File a user ben current shell, it is that symbolic link to file this etc alternative then Cornshell. So you can see that it's also symbolic link to Ben Cornshell 92, and then file / Ben Cornshell, Cornshell 93 actually, Cornshell 93, and that might be executable. Yes, it is executable. So when you type in KSH, it calls this one, and this one is calling this. Now on my system, Cornshell, if I just spin it off, I'm on Cornshell syntax, which means I run the Cornshell syntax. So if I just do here PS, notice if I say PS3 here, this is the list of all the processes on my system with 5 more to see that my system D started all these ones, and then under system D, I have those other shells. So if I say PS and say PS3 of 2909 one more time, and then you can see that one is now kernel shell, and under kernel shell I'm running this one. So each of these commands that you do, export x is equal 1, and then echo $x, it is on this shell, and that is currently there. Echo $, you can see I'm on that process. So if I say pwdx of $, then it says it started actually from home Wahid directly. Now, if I say exit out of this one, and then I say PS, notice echo $, this is going to say the Bourne shell process ID, which is 5909. So PS3 of this one, you can see that it's there, PS is there, and PS3 of $, is going to show that I'm on Bourne shell. And then PWDX of $, is a fast way to point to this process ID that I'm pointing to. So if I say exit out of that one, now I'm only on the Bourne shell. Echo $, is going to say the 2909 process ID. So I could say PWDX of $, it says that it came out from root. And then at the same time, PWDX of 2909 is also giving me the same thing. But notice that system D, if I change this one, PWDX of 1, which is system D, permission denied, because that one is system D, root. So I type in sudo in front of it, and it tells me that it's there. For the system D. And then if I just get the PS3 of it, not this PS3 of 1 is going to be allowing me because I already did a sudo and understood there. So if I type in more here, you can get that. This was on chapter 4 I showed you. So this is how you get this one, also in color, you could get that one. And then you could, the color is not gonna be that nice all the time, but if you just do a dash frequency of 0.001. It's always a nicer color, and one more zero, so it's more greenish. It is there. And then these backgrounds, you can change it also for the desktop. And then when we get to graphical interface, I'll show you how to adjust your resolution and desktop and colors and background and everything else. So that is going to come down. The next things that we covered is PWDs, change directory, you already know it, make directory, MD, and type. So let's just cover make directory, for example, MK dir. You can also go like here, if I just say, okay, this looks like it is hanging. It is a little bit slow. It's going to come back, some sort of IO bound. So I'm going to get back here and cover this. So here, let's say I want to make a directory on this one. If I say make dir Wahid 123, it's going to say permission denied if I don't have permission on it. But it looks like it did create it, Wahid 123. Since I had that directory, even though I was on the C drive, it allowed me to create it because I might have just opened it as administrator, which I didn't. So let me see why it create that one. Normally, if you just open a PowerShell command here, and depending on what directory you are, so here on there, I say make dir Wahid 123, and it is going to say you have no privilege to do this one. If I say go to the directory here and say make dir Wahid 123, that's what it should have said. Oh, that directory already exists. So rm dir Wahid 123, and it did it actually on the C prompt. It allows me to do that one without opening as administrator. That is not good security. It should check it. But because I'm logged on as my user profile, it allows me to do that much. It shouldn't. So if I go to system 32, maybe it should not do it. CD2C colon Windows system 32, and I say make dir this one now permission denied. So on the C drive, it does not, but on the system level, it is going to be checking for permission, which is still an issue with somebody could install software on the C drive. So that is important to just prevent it. And then the way I'm going to do this one is now if I just say RM, so I did this one, I'm saying RM dir Wahid 123. That's going to does not exist. Directory. Let's see if the make dir actually succeeded. It did succeed, but let me see CD to Wahid 123. Yeah, it is there. And then say make dir test one. That test one gets created, and then clear screen this one rm dir test one. So it is gone. And then come here, say rm dir Wahid 123. Yeah, it is gone. Somehow I had some typo. I don't mind about that one. And this is a test machine, so I could shut it down anyway. So let's get to the next command, which we are going to cover here. Change directory, and make dir we already covered. MD is short form for make directory. So on the Linux side, if I just go back to show here, and this one I do, this screen is frozen. This is all frozen. So if your Ubuntu Linux server is frozen and it's not responsive, you just have to power it off. And right here, it is not clickable. But here I could say exit and then say power off. So I'm gonna do that one, that will just power it off. Then I start it after. Once it's power off, you just start it and it will come back. Somehow, some resources, if it is an issue, you have to sometimes reboot it because something on the memory glitch that hanged on there. So it shouldn't cause that one. Sometimes if you have I/O or hardware problems, it will hang every time, and then now you have to fix that disk or CPU or memory, whatever is the issue. Based on the error, you have to look at the system logs and then fix it accordingly. So this one is coming. The next command I was covering on this one was type cat and notepad and notepad plus plus. So let's, while that one is booting, let's cover those commands. So type is a command that you could say dir here and say dir send it to a file called c:/t.txt. Let's say I could not create it there, and that's a good thing. Earlier I was making the directory, but not file, so that is a good thing. So if I say make a directory called Wahid123, now I'm going to go to Wahid123, and then now I should be able to create files inside here too, but not on the C drive. That was something kind of unusual. So let's see, dir of C:/this, and then say send this one to say C drive.txt. And now I can just create C drive.txt type C drive.txt. That is just a path to those files. So the type command, I just wanted to show you that when you create a text file, which in this case is there, you could say echo this is a test, and then send it to a file, say test.txt. Now I just created that file test.txt. Type test.txt, it will just display it. Get dash content test.txt will just show that one. And then you could also do get dash major dash object. It will say that is one line. The C drive is not one line, so if I say direct to start.txt, and then I say type all that .txt, you can see it writes the first file C drive and then the last file the next. So if you have more than one file, let me just make that file rm delete C drive.txt. Now I only have this one. So if I say copy test.txt and say test1.txt, now I have two files of the same size exactly matching. There's no difference between them. So I could say compare test.txt with test1.txt, and they are the same file. Files compare okay. So that's another tip that I just showed you, a command on Windows. And the Linux version of compare is CMP. I'll cover those ones in depth and other ones on the next one. I'm going to just say, if I say cat test.txt, it will just say, or cat test1.txt, it will say that. And then now if I say append one more line on that one, echo this is a second line, and then now I could use double greater sign onto test1.txt. Now test1.txt is having two lines. So if I say cat test1.txt, this is test1, this is line 2, second line, right? So I just created by doing double greater sign and this ampersand, meaning that append to the end of it. So if I just say that's great, can I just do a word count on this one? Yes. You could do a measure dash object, and measure, it will say that's 2 line. But if you just say, give me the first one, test, it's 1 line. So you could do that one. And then measure is also, I'm going to cover that one. These one are aliases to get dash command. Measure is a measure dash object, or alias measure. You can say that this is a alias to a measure object. Similarly, alias cat command is get dash content, or type is get dash content. So whether you type in cat type or get dash content, it will display the content of the file on PowerShell. So if I do pwd, print working directory, alias pwd, remember pwd is pointing to git dash location. So if I go here to C drive, C:/ and then do pwd, it's similar to typing in git dash location. And to set the location is set dash location. Change directory also takes you to Wahid 123. This. So remember, alias cd is the set location. So if I say set dash location, C drive and this, and it will take me there, pwd. Set dash location, C:/ Wahid 123, and there. Make dir test 1, 2, 3. You can just create that directory. Now I have a directory called test 1, 2, 3. cd to test 1, 2, 3. Tab it, and then now I'm on inside there. pwd, you can see that it's there. Change directory dot dot, go to the parent directory. So change directory or set dash location is that change directory. And then let's see if mkdir, alias md, and it's makedir, short for makedir. So I could say makedir new dir1, and now I just create the directory new dir1. And then alias rmdir, that's also remove item. So if I say directory here rmdir, and then say new dir1, now I remove that item. Whether I use remove dash item on PowerShell or rmdir, it will do the same thing. So here I have these ones, and then alias rmdir, so this one is dir, and alias rmdir, you can see here is remove item, right? So now if I want to say remove dash item, and then say test 1, 2, 3, the directory has to be empty in order to do it. Otherwise, you have to use the dash recurse save or a dash recurse. So those are options are there. If you say get dash help, remove dash item, you can see here all the options that are there with dash examples. So you can see the options are there. And then, if you say, can I do like a laugh out loud cat on this one? Yes, you can do that one. Or say, can I do a find a string /I and then search for recurse, and there you go. So it whatever the recurse option is there, you say that, okay, if you want to remove this directory and the subdirectories, everything recursively there. Then there's dash force. You just do here force. Remember, the find string is going to just match one or more strings. So you could say recurse as well as force. If you just don't want to get only the recurse, there you could do that one. And if you just say, this is good, but I want to just see dash force option, is dash force option. So the syntax is very easy to memorize and practice it there. And that's what I'm saying is cat with type and MD, all of that. Notepad and Notepad++ is on Windows side. So we're still on here. If I just want to open a new file, I can open a new file, say Notepad test 2.txt. Now I open this notepad and say, yes, go ahead, open it. And it's going to prompt me this file. Let me just close this one and say, don't save this one. And then this is the file that I just opened as test2.txt. So I could say, and this is the content of this 2.txt. And then save file, save. And I'm going to say, this is a new line that I just added. So if I do that one and then save it, and notice that here, if I say there, now this 2.txt is there, type this 2.txt, it has the 2 line. If I want to say echo that one, also this is the second line, and append to the test.2, I could do that one from command line and say, now type test2.txt, it is 3 lines. Here, this file is still refreshed, but notice that it is refreshed on the system as well, and it shows the line that I just added here. Whether you do it from command line or just here, it will be there. So if I just here say, this is the 4th line, and then save it. And now if I just clear screen, or not clear screen, do the type, and now you see that the line is there in addition to this. So if I just clear a screen here and say, show me this, now say type star.txt, it will just display all of them. But if I want to say anything with the name 2.txt, only shows the file 2. So this star means wildcard, but having like file number 1, it will only do this one. And if I say test, star by test, now notice the 1 character, I make it different to just display this one or this one or that one. So you could also do like this and say this, and that would cover all of them. Or just don't have to have an extension here, because that would just say every file that is there. Directory star is similar to directory star.txt. And then similarly, get child item, the last time I covered, get child item is going to do that one. Get child item star.txt is there, and then get child item alias get child item, and then directory, or both pointing to get dash child item. And you can see that one. And get dash command, get dash child item is a commandlet. And you can see that it's a commandlet, and it's a Microsoft PowerShell management utilities management side. Okay, so we covered that one. Now Notepad Plus, Notepad is there. You can also type in Notepad here, and then that would cover Notepad here. This is just opening a Notepad file, and you can just do that one. And last time I also showed you the where object and PS command, so you can see PS here. Since I'm running Notepad, I could just say, show me all the process, and say where the command $_ dash like let's say asterisk Notepad. Anything with Notepad, just show me those ones. And then I have to do the brace here to close it, and that one saying that Notepad is not running, so it is not available now. But if I just say, okay, let's start Notepad again, I just type in Notepad here. Now this file is open. Now if I just run this command, and let me just make sure that Notepad and test.txt. Okay, so if I just say where $_ is $_ this. Okay, so everything looks like it should find it. Notepad. Let me just see. Note star. If maybe it is there. So I'm gonna say start dash process, and I'm saying a Notepad, just to start the Notepad here. And then now Notepad is running as a process from the command line. Let's see if the PS command is going to display it also. Notepad is not there. It might be some other name for it. Note. Yeah, it might be something other than that one. Let me just check these ones. I'm gonna close this one and say start dash process. Start dash process, and alias start dash process is basically alias start The start is basically pointing to the start dash process. So I could say start notepad.exec. Notepad, yeah, from the command line, it does not understand it. Oh, I'm typing it wrong. Notepad, and then that would start it. And so if you type in get dash command and notepad, it's gonna say this is on Windows notepad.exec. So I could say start dash process notepad.exec, and it will start a notepad, which it did. Now I'm gonna say get dash process, and then all of the process, and then I'm going to say get dash process. Let's see if the name anything. I'm gonna say find string slash I slash I, and then anything with the word and note there, notepad or something. Okay, so this one is no, not start dash process. Get dash process. Let me clear the screen here. Clear screen. So I'm going to do a get dash process to get the process list, and then or PS command, and notepad is the name. So somehow that was earlier there, and this is the process here. So if I just say, okay, that is good, I found it. Now I'm going to kill that one. Let's see if I just say PS command, and then where the object name is I'm gonna say where $ name and dash equal, and I'm gonna just put notepad. And this is what is matching on that one. It does not display it here. Let me see if I see the process ID of it, where uh, dash like the name is star notepad star, and that should find it, but it doesn't find it. That's kind of unique. And then let me just see if I can search it by process ID dot ID, and the ID name is equal, and the number is 12956. It's not finding it. So you could also look at the task manager and to see if it is there. So under task manager, you could go under processes and then look for by sorted by name, and then notepad should be somewhere here. If I go again here under and it should be somewhere here. Services. Yeah. It's harder to find it this way here. I'm gonna try that with the find command. Yes, and then find command found it in notepad. So, and this is another way. Once we find it here, let's see if we could do a stop dash process on it. Stop dash process is not, but you cannot be any parameter for the command. Can I do kill? No. So since the get dash process does not find it, PS and then clear screen PS, and then find string slash I notepad. Maybe the notepad is not notepad.exec that we are looking for. This is not a process, looks like. So let me just see what is going on here. If I say PS and then 5 more, and these are all the processes that are up and running. Let's just look at SBC host, a lot of them, Zoom. I don't see the notepad process, but if I just exit it out of here and then I say, let me try the same thing with calculator to see if my PowerShell is acting weird or not. So I'm gonna say start dash calculator calc, and that is starting this process. Then I say, okay, leave this one on the side here, and at the same time, just on this one, just run this command, say ps, and find a string /I, anything with calc, show me that one. So here is the calc application. And now if I say ps and then say where object is name id dash name dash like, and then I say star calc, and then a star, and then oh, maybe I was not typing. No, it does not do it. So I'm gonna run the same command on PowerShell to see if it is my PowerShell and that is broken or something. I'm gonna open this command and run this command here and paste it here. Okay, so I'm gonna type it in PS, where this is not, yeah, it is not PowerShell. Let me just see why it is not doing it. I'm gonna go with PowerShell IDE, integrated development environment, and then I'm gonna just type in that command here, say PS, where $, ah, $, $dot. See, we found the problem, dash, like, there was nothing wrong with the um, pattern matching, but there was something wrong with the single quote. Single quote, putting it, that's an awk programming language from Shell. I've been doing more Linux than PowerShell, so that's why. See that this one, it is there, and then now I'm putting this asterisk. Let's see if this one runs and then give me output. That one does not any produce any output. So I'm gonna take off this double quote here and say, okay, go here, take the single quote here, and then close the single quote, and then run it. Now I get the output. That was the problem. It was never required this argument with this. So I'm coming from like awk programming with bash and shell, and that one between the brace. That's why I type in that one. So the syntax is like this without the code, and then that would give you the output. And then now you can just say, okay, so we know that it is not this, it is taking the single code out and single code out here. And then that would give you the calculator. And so if I just do this one now, I can say stop or kill command, it will kill the calculator. Similarly, if I just say start a notepad and I say notepad and test.txt, I open that file and that file is open here. I say now find the same command, and instead of command matching notepad, calculator, I'm going to look for a notepad store, and then I have to put an asterisk here, and that would I don't want to kill it yet. I want to show you that it's two of them are open on the system. If I want to kill both of them, I just say stop dash process or kill command, and there. So now all of them are done. Now if I just say show me again, it's nothing. So don't put single quote on PowerShell here around that one. So that's a syntax that PowerShell is different than awk programming with this. So on the Linux side, I want to just show you that difference. Let me just say Wahid here. I log in on Wahid. So what are the commands that I need to cover additional? VI, Notepad. Notepad++ is another tool that you can use. So you say Notepad++, and this is the interface. This is kind of like a better BI kind of improved version of it. So you can just do multiple things. Notepad++ is very easy. You just open and start writing text, and you have graphical interface here. It's like a IDE kind of interface, more improved version of Notepad there. I'm not gonna cover that much on that one because it's class like GUI, right? You just click on the file, you just save, click on save. You edit, you just change the color, you just do the color. So like, for example, just to show you a specific example, you start here writing your text and say, and this is my text, and then you just copy this one. If you just say edit, copy, and then paste it again here, it's a Control V and then paste it. So a lot of the windows, and then summation, these all buttons are there. There's so much there on the setting, and then edit files, and then the file save as, close all, so on, right? So Notepad is easy to do that. On the code, similarly on the code, if you just do a code here, clear screen here, clear screen here. So if I just want to go to my directory here, say make dir and say C drive, and then I just do a C, that's good, and then make dir Python, and then I just say, okay, great, go to the Python directory, Python, and then just write a Python program or something. I could say code, say hello.py. And then now I just open the hello.py here on Visual Studio Code here. So then I say, okay, and just run that program. I say print, okay, print, and then say the double quote hello world, and then that's good enough. And then you could just print it and then say that is basically a print hello world. But in order for me to save this one, I have them on a node. I have already installed Visual Studio Code with VI. I could say escape WQ and WQ, and then quit it. Now I close this one. Now I created the hello.py here. So remember the hello.py is that code. In order to run it, you say hello.py, and that one is going to just say hello.py. But I could also run it from hello.py inside the Python program. So if you just want to run it inside Python program, you just point to this one and then say run it. Once the tools are there, depending on your Visual Studio IDE, if you have not installed the packages, you just have to go to extension and install Python packages. And then once you have it, for Python, you do the Python IDEs for the packages, image preview, and then Python snippet, Python extension pack. So you install this one, and it's already installed there. That means I can run it. And then here, if I just want to run it, obviously there's a run button somewhere here. Because I have gone too close, I'm gonna make this screen smaller. And somewhere here, it should show up. I'm gonna close this one, and then under run button, let's see if I get the run somewhere here. Actually, we already saved it with that name. And then here is snippet, setting, task. It is somewhere here hiding on the background. I just have to find it. Okay. So some of these buttons might be hidden somewhere here. I'm just looking for them. Um, explore my menu, open folder. Okay, so I'm going to go to open this folder, and I'm going to do this one in Python, and select folder, and right here, and then that's the file name, not the welcome. I'm going to look at. Okay, let me just move the zoom out. Yes, I trust the author. Okay, so go to the Python, and then right here. And right here, you see the button comes in. So somehow I had to open the folder, and then I say trusted, and now the options are there. So, and you just click on here, run it and debug, and then now the console comes in, and here's hello world there on the terminal. You can also go on the terminal and then just run it from the terminal here. So you can save directory here, and then Python hello.py, it will just do hello world. But whether you run it from here to get that screen here or that terminal, the options are indefinite. So I'm gonna close this one. I have covered Code ID, a full course, mastering code. You can look at that one for detail for C, C++, and other Python, PyCharm, and everything on those ones. So the next thing is that VI, Vim, and OD on object done. System information we already covered, CPU info, mem info. I'm going to cover this one, then we end this course video. So VI, Vim, OD, and mem info proc. I'm going to cover that one on Linux now. So let's go to Linux. And again, code and PyCharm and all these other IDs, you can also install it on Linux, Ubuntu, Red Hat, and other ones as well. I'm not going to do the system upgrade yet at this time because I did last time and my system is up to date. So I'm just going to start doing that one, and then at some other date, I'll cover that one for you in details there. CD, clear screen, and then the command that I wanted to cover was CPU info and VI and other ones. So let's say on here, I'm gonna go to the directory programs, and then I just go to the C drive, C directory, and then here I'm gonna write a hello.c in C language. So I'm gonna say VI or VI improve. If VI improve is there, it's going to open the set shell. So if I say some people use Nano and other ones, I don't mind using Vim. I'm very familiar with Vim and VI and Emacs stuff, so I could just use the Vim here. On this directory where I am here, I could say Vim or VI. It doesn't matter which one. I could use the VI improve, which is a superset of VI. Every feature is already there. So I'm gonna just create a program hello.c. And then here I say pound include standard IO and standard IO.h. So the first thing I did was just say press escape and then I for insert. Now I'm on the insert mode. So if I want to save it up to this point, I press escape and W. And then if I want to quit out, for sure, I put WQ back. Now the file is create only with one line. Cat minus n hello.c has only one line and it has the content of it like that. So if I just say, okay, that's great. I want to just not work on this one. I want to just move this program files on my root directory and or on the /temp as a test or something. I could do that one. But let me just do that one because this parent directory is really huge. I don't want to just show the home virtual host. I'm going to do this one, say echo $PS1. This is another trick I want to show you here. So PS1 prompt shell 1 is saying that Every time I type in /u is going to give me the user, which is Wahid, /h is the host name, then /w for working directory, and that so on. So I say, well, that's too much for information. I just want to go say export PS1 is equal, and then just say $sign followed by a space. Now I change that prompt to just only show me this. I don't have to show the directory every time I am there because I can type in pwd. If I just go here, I type in pwd. If I say cd pwd. So now I know where I am. I just say cat -n hello.c. This was only one line. And so I'm going to use vim hello.c to complete the C program. So I say, okay, and now I'm on this one. I want to set line numbers to show what line numbers are. I press escape and then shift colon, and then I type in set and U. Now it shows the line number here. Now I'm going to say go to the next line by escape O for adding a new line. I say end. I go to the next line and then say I for insert, and then say end main. Now I'm writing a C program as a function of saying printf and then say hello world, hello world. And then I just did that one, and I'm going to say that is great, and then I just say return 0 successfully, and then put the semicolon. Here I could just say put a new line character after that one, and then say close the brace here. Close the brace, so that's for line number 3. And then this one is supposed to be a complete C program. I'm going to say WQ on Vim, and then say cat -n hello.c, and it's going to show me those one. In order to compile this one, I have to have the GCC compiler. So if I say which GCC, it is not there. So I have to do sudo apt install GCC. And then I provide my password for the sudo. And then say, yes, go ahead and install it. It is going to install it. GCC and G++. G++ is the compiler for C++, and GCC is the GNU-C collection compiler. So when you do look at this C code, say which GCC, now that file user ben GCC is executable symbolic link to GCC 13. And then if I say which GCC-13, that is telling me that file user bin GCC-13 is executable link format. And if I do check on that one with the file LDD, that is going to show me all the shared object file. .so stands for shared object file, similar to the Windows dynamic link library. These are shared object file, which is dynamically allocated. Linux virtual dynamic shared object, and then libc is for a standard library C, and LD for loader linker. So now we have seen that one. I need to compile my C program, store.c. If I say file store.c, that says it's a C source code. And the content of it, cat -n hello and .c, it's going to say these 7 lines. So let's say GCC -o, and then hello is the executable, and then the source code is hello.c. Now I just created hello as executable file. Hello is that executable in format. So if I say hello here, now it says this hello world. Notice that after the word cat -n hello.c, I have a typo here. I put the -i here extra. So now I'm going to use vim again hello.c. If I search for a world, and then I say search for world, I type in slash here, and then I type in word with I, and then it's gonna match it. Then I use my cursor to move to that string, and then the left just moved it to there, and then I say export, deleting it. Now I deleted it, it is there. So now I'm saying write it, but I'm gonna stay there. If I just say escape and set list, that shows me all the and non-visible character and new line characters and so on. So notice these new line characters for here. I could also do WQ here, octal dump minus C, hello.c, and this file is showing all the new line characters with /n. You can see the $sign here that was on the VI. But if I say cat minus EA, hello.c, I could also see the $sign at the new line characters here, because I say E for everything, A for all, and then that one showing all the details of those other characters. If I have tabs on it, it will show there. But now let's say I need more improvement on the program, say vim hello.c, and I just want to use a for statement here. I could say for int I is equal 0, and then say I less than, let's say 10, less or equals to 10. Actually, I is equal 1. I want to start from 1 to, let's say 6. I don't want to do too much. I less than 6. So 1 through 5 is going to be printed if I don't want to include the 6. But if I wanted to include 6, less or equal, I could put I plus plus, and then start a brace here, say do this as a loop. And then when you're done with the loop, I'm going to use escape all for write a new line, and that's there. So now I'm going to do escape WQ, and it's going to exit out cat minus n hello.c. Now a file hello has a time stamp of last time I did it. So if I say stat hello, this file has a timestamp of change and modification of those ones. So if I say hello, this is going to only do that line one time with the typo. Now I have to compile that one again, say, okay, GCC minus O, hello, and then hello.c. And now I run this hello executable, it prints out that money times and everything is there. But if I wanted the line numbers there, I have to do vim hello.c, and then right here where you say print this, the printf statement, I could say percentage d, and then percentage d is the string, and then space, and then I'm going to do double quote here, and then say I here, which is the integer, and then comma, and then double quote here, and that is the second string that I want to do. And then here I want to do after the D colon to say the separated there by that. Then let's see if we compile it again and say go ahead, compile it again. And now it is complaining, say that printf is syntax that does not work there. Somehow I missed it, mistyped it. Yes. Hello world. So let's see if I could correct it. I haven't worked on this one for a while. Let me just see if I could see it. Percentage D. Hello world. New line characters. And all I have to do is say this is a replacement for it. And then this one, you don't need to do that one. So percentage D is going to get from this argument and followed by the asterisk. I think that is the right sentence. And so clear screen here, and then run this one. Now did the trick that I wanted to do, and then hello dot executable, and then it's going to do that. If I just add the laugh out loud cat with minus f frequency 0.001, and then it's going to run it in that color. If I wanted much more different colors, I could also do it without this, and then every time I get a different set of colors. So that is depending on how many times you run it, you get a different set of it. But notice that how simple it is. Similarly, if I just go on this directory and say, go to Python, clear screen, and then I'm going to make a directory Python, and then I say, okay, on this one, I'm going to create a program in Python to do the same thing in a loop there. So here, remember we used code. We could use code, install code, and do that one, but I use a vim here again. So I say vim cd to Python, and then I'm on Python directory, vim hello.py. So here I write the hello.py. Here I'm going to use a for statement. I'm going to say for item and the range of, let's do it 5 times here too. I'm going to just say 6. And then because I want to start with 1, I'm going to just say go to up to 6 and then increment by 1. So I say print, and then this one, I'm going to use the brace, the f string. I'm going to say brace and then say item and then colon and then say hello world, and followed by new line characters, and followed by that, and then close it, and that's it. That statement is there. Now wq cat minus n hello.py, and if I just want to run it, say hello.py. Actually, I have to do Python on it, hello.py, and then now Python 3 is there, not Python, so I have to do Python 3, and it's going to do that one. But because I did a new line character, so I say vim hello.py, and then just say go to the new line characters. So I say search for world /d is good enough, and then do that one. I don't have to do this one. So now if I just run the Python 3, it's gonna do that one. And if I want to say word count minus L, how many lines are there? 5 of them. If I say laugh out loud cat there, just to print it in different colors, you could do that one. Every time you do it, it's going to be a different set of colors. But at the same time, for hello world here, remember I started from line 1 and then up to line 5. So, and that's how easy it is. If you want to see the content of it, cat minus n hello.py and .py, and it is that line. But notice here, if I say /hello .py, it's going to say permission denied. The reason is that hello.py is not executable. So I did not tell my script to just run it with Python. And I have to put Python hello.py, or I mean Python 3 is where it is. So clear screen, which Python 3 is pointing to this. If I want to make alias say Python is equal Python 3, now if I just run it like this, also it's going to work as well, because the alias of Python is there pointing to this. I could also say alias P, P is equal Python 3, that I could even do, sorry, alias P is equal Python 3. I could also do P dash dash version, what to do that one, or P space hello.py, it will do that one. But if I still do this one, say hello.py, it's not going to work. Why? It's permission denied, because ls minus ld hello.py, this program is not executable. So that means I have to say change mode u plus x hello.py, and now that file is executable, and that means I can run it hello.py, and it will just say, oh, I did not understand the syntax of this one with syntax error unexpected token. Because if I say, okay, why is it giving me that one? It's because of the version of Python. So the version of Python that I'm doing it, I'm going to just say, okay, that's good. So then hello.py, in order to correct that one, sorry, quite out of this one, then hello.py, and in order to correct that one, you go here, say pound, exclamation mark, user ben env Python 3. That tells it that, okay, this executable requires Python 3. So now if I say hello.py, it's going to run. And why? Because cat minus n etc, I'm sorry, minus n hello.py, it's telling you that on first line, I say find out user ben env, which env, it's this binary, and this binary file user ben env, it is this binary, it says which Python 3, it finds Python 3 interpreter, it loads it and then understands it. So I don't have to type in Python hello.py, which I could do that one, laugh out loud cat, and then I could do that one, or don't have to type in. Now, since I have the first line there, it's going to automatically run it. Head -1 of hello.py, it tells you that I having this line. This executable says load this one. So if I just want to run a bash script, the rest of the line has to be bash here. So similarly for Python, similarly for other Ruby and Perl and so on. So that first line of that line of hello cat minus n hello.py, it tells it that the rest of the code here is the syntax of Python. If I put the bash interpreter here, then the rest of command has to be bash syntax. As an example, I'm going to do one more example with Vim, so you understand Vim also. So if I say here cd to make directory bash and cd to bash, now I'm on this directory. If I say Vim hello.sh or a bash shell, whatever syntax or you want to do the shell, it's fine to you. And then you say /user ben env bash, and say for I'm going to say for I and I'm gonna say the braces braces and say 1.5. I'm gonna do 1 to 5 here, and then say go ahead, do that one. I could do sequence 5 also, and I could do 1 colon dot 5 also the same thing. Do, and then say what do you want to do. I'm going to say echo the $i in this case, and then say hello world. Notice the syntax. If you go to ChatGPT, they give you syntax for all of them. But in this case, I'm your ChatGPT, and I'm providing you the syntax on the fly. So just enjoy that. And subscribe to our channel. If I didn't earn your subscription, that would be kind of odd. But please join our channel, and then you will learn a lot. So hello world, and then I'm doing that one. And then now you say, okay, that's great. I look at this, and then done, because we started that. So how simple it is now. WQ again, write it. Cat hello.bash. On the Vim, there's a lot of other arguments that I could show you if you want me to do it. I had done a video a few years ago, so I could do more on the ZZ command and yanking and DD command and this and that. There's a lot of stuff I could show you set substituting the string and this and that. But here I have written this bash cat minus n hello dot bash, and you can see that line. In order for this one to be executable, you could say bash minus x, saying that run that one and hello dot bash, and that's for each line. It shows the line is there. So line 3, I have an end of line missing. Somehow I stored something on line 3 for I and that one to 5 and do see here. So I'm going to say for I and um, 1.5. I think I put an extra there. Do echo $I. Done. Yeah. So to correct this one, I need to take the single quote here out. And that one I was telling you that I come from awk. So if I say ls minus l here, and I say ls minus l awk friend $9, the file name, you could just see that you put single quote. So here hello dot bash, I'm going to take the single quote out and then just do that one and save it. WQ clear screen. And now if I do a bash minus x, it should work. And notice that every line is showing the line command with a plus, and the output is showing below. But I don't want to do that one. I want to just say ls minus l hello. It is not executable, so I say change mode. Last time I used u plus x. This time I say 755. Meaning that read write execute by owner and group and others read write by execute by owner, and the rest of them read and execute. So hello dot bash, and now you can see this is read write execute by owner, everybody else is read and execute. So now if I say hello dot bash, it is going to give me the output there. But notice that dash e new line character was not understood, because the echo has to have a minus e. So hello here, and then just comment on the echo, search for echo, and then just do that minus e. I want to just show you a trick here. You can do line 1 through the end of line, substitute echo to echo minus e and globally. This one is like if there's 10 lines in there, it will modify all of them with the from a string 1 to string 2. So the echo was a string 1, a string 2 was echo minus e, and that's how it was substituted. And then now I say WQ and then run the same command. Here now it's there. So notice that the new line characters are there by default. This one already has it, and so we don't have to put this line number there. And we just do bang here. Sometimes the bang was putting us as event, and then sometimes it doesn't, so you're good with that. If it does, you have to skip it. And then right here, if I just run this one and then say laugh out loud cat minus frequency of 0.001, then it's going to do it in that color. If I don't want it in this one, and then I want it with dash A for animation, I could get it an animation color and there. Okay, so there's a lot of things I could show you, but watch for my next video. So I'm going done with this one. I'm going to say log out. I'm going to say log out here, and then once I log out of this one, this is going to release me all the memory information and that I was running for it. So now if I say cd here, change directory here, system info, and then instead of this, I just say give me the memory information. That will just say the memory information is a lot more than I used to have it on this one. This one is closing it. Once it is closed, I get more memory. So power off. I log out. Once you log out, you could also shut down or power off. So now I have 16 gig more on the memory as released, and then now I have 20 gig available. So the more resources are open, it will be taken care of for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like my videos that I'm making for it. I hope it's beneficial to you all and learn from it, and help yourself get a job, and then help yourself and your family, and share the knowledge wherever you go. And there's millions of technical documentation on the internet, and my website is giving you the resource for all of them. So just enjoy it, subscribe to our channel for English version, and channel for C version here, and everything I talk about it on both languages, English and Dari. Dari and for C is the same. God bless you all. Have a good one. Bye bye now. And also explore our courses so that you can learn the courses that I made for 4 hours from zero to hero of Red Hat, Rocky, Linux, Ubuntu, Bash scripting, then Ubuntu, 8 hours videos, 6 hours, R language, Python, and Solaris operating system, Solaris 11.4, Linux Fedora distribution, Visual Studio Code. Earlier, I was telling you that I have the Master Visual Studio Code course, the full course I covered. And Python, I have covered the string set, list, tuples, or tuples, list comprehension, data dictionaries, classes and objects, and polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, all of those, data hiding, abstraction. So just enjoy your life, and have peace everywhere you go. Support peace, and hopefully everything will be good for all of us. Take care. God bless you. Bye bye.